Herzlich willkommen beim 38. DOK.fest München hier aus dem Silbersaal. A very warm welcome to the 38th DOK.fest here in Munich from the Silbersaal. I'm very, very happy that we are presenting the film Close to Vermeer by Suzanne Raes. My name is Daniel Lang. I'm a filmmaker and an educator. And the film is going to be presented as part of our DOK Panorama section. Suzanne, how did you get access to basically the makers of the exhibition, the Raes Museum? How did the film come about?
Well, it started with a little bird telling me, I think almost 2 years ago, no, more than 2 years ago, about the expo that would come. And it was a friend of mine, and she said, wouldn't you be interested in making a film about Johannes Vermeer? And my first reaction was a bit like, why? And, you know, I make documentaries about alive people and things that are happening, and paintings are not the most exciting thing to film. But then when I knew more about this really special, biggest show ever on Vermeer, I started with writing the Rijksmuseum, the curators of the expo, an email and saying that I would be interested in following the whole process. And I was the first, so and I made some documentaries before, so they said, oh, well, maybe let's give it a try.
I think it shows, though, that you usually, when you make your films, that you have that you're interested in the people, because also with this documentary, it's more than just a documentary about an exhibition. Basically it's a documentary, I think, about the people who are making the exhibition or who are touched by it. How did you connect to your protagonists?
Well, from the start, of course, I am who I am, and my films are about people. And when I started, I knew I had to work fast because things were already in motion and we didn't have a budget yet. But I didn't wanted to make a making of, just not look how they get here and let's hang them and have some wallpaper. No, I just wanted to. I wasn't clear about the angle at the start. But what I did is I knew that one of the curators is Gregor Weber, of course, a very gentle and eloquent, intelligent man. And I thought maybe on one of the first days of our shooting, I thought I'd just I'd just do a long interview with him, a very long interview. And he knows so much about Vermeer, but that was not necessarily good for the film. But there were two moments in this interview that really struck me. And those were the moments that he was not eloquent and that he really had to find words to express what he felt looking at Vermeer for the first time, what it means to have this exhibition. So when I saw this in it will be maybe strange for the German audience to see him. He speaks beautifully Dutch. But when I saw this emotion, or just he has this lump in his throat trying to swallow something that doesn't go away. And then I thought, oh, I really would like the film to be about this. Why is it so hard to explain what it is, what you experience looking at a Vermeer? And I think Vermeer, more than any painter, in my opinion, has this capacity to really draw on you and have this very intimate contact with the paintings. And people have all kinds of theories about paintings, and they really communicate on a very special individual psychological level to the people. So what I did, of course, I followed the curators and the art historians and the restaurators, but I also wanted to know, what is it to hold a Vermeer in your hands, to look at it, and I really wanted the camera to really dive into the paintings.
Those were the moments with Gregor Huber that really touched me as an audience, or as an audience member watching the film, seeing how emotional someone can get by thinking about a painting or by thinking about a memory of looking at a painting.
This man read every book on Vermeer, possibly he has a whole library of books. So he really very, like I said, very intellectual, highly considered art historian, but he still has this emotion, thinking about his first Vermeer, thinking about what the works mean to him. Yeah.
How come you decided to basically stop the film with the opening of the exhibition, and not go further and maybe like show audience reactions or whatever?
Well, in a way, the film is also following Gregor Weber's biggest challenge in his career. That's the last thing he did as a curator for the Rijksmuseum. And to have him alone in the show, for me, would be good. And also, of course, you could have like people drinking champagne, and there's now a massive crowd in front of the paintings as well. But because I wanted the film to be about this very intimate contact between the viewer and the painting, I think it would distract to have, you know, that wasn't the film about the success of the success is having the paintings there and being able to feel this and go with Gregor to look at this final work.
How did your perception of Vermeer change throughout, or did it change throughout making the film?
Well, I was I studied history, and of course, I grew up with Vermeer's paintings and his depiction of the 17th century. I live in Amsterdam, these beautiful houses, 17th century houses, and you see these windows. So I have this, for me, the rooms of Vermeer are very connected with my view of the 17th century. But when I got the chance to really, with Gregor, but also with the restorators and the art historians, to really dive into these paintings, I learned so much. And it's that's great for my work. And I hope also to give that to the viewers, that when the painting is just lying flat on the table and someone is holding it and it's looking very closely, and you see all these magnificent details and these mysterious ways how he captured the light and the contours of faces and eyes. And so, of course, it was a great great gift to being able to be so close myself to the paintings.
Another sort of very touching moment in the film is when the American artist is in Gregor Weber's flat or house, asking to touch a painting that is in the background of one of the Vermeer paintings. And he's just sort of there is just so much emotion in that moment. Were you like, when it happened, were you like behind the camera, yes? Or what were your sort of thoughts while filming that?
Well, there was a great connection between these two men. They dedicated most of their adult lives to Vermeer, and Jonathan has this amazing website in where every detail, every research finding on Vermeer, he publishes on his Essential Vermeer website. So he knows everything. But Gregor Weber, of course, had this urge to find new things. And one of the things he was a bit shy about is that he was able to connect the painting, the music lesson, I think it is, to an actually painting that must have been in Vermeer's house. So I knew it was there, and it's always, I knew it would be great for Jonathan to see it, of course, and I just wanted to let it happen. I just said to Jonathan, Gregor wants to show you something, maybe just come here. And then the two of them looked at the painting, and Gregor is so proud of this what he found, and Jonathan is really excited that there's still new grounds to cover, new things to find out about his favorite painter.
You said you had to start the film very quickly, and then sort of it developed. Did you edit it while you were shooting, or did you shoot everything and then edit it?
Yeah, we really wanted to have the film ready shortly after the opening of the exhibition, also to give people like you to see the film and the exhibition at the same time. But of course, documentary editing takes months and sometimes even longer. So what I knew is that I had started editing last September, and I edited the film. I think the rough cut was ready at Christmas, but I didn't film the last 5 minutes because that would be the minutes, the moments that the paintings would arrive in Amsterdam and be hanged on the wall. And so I knew that this ending would be the ending of my film. But it's really strange to edit a film not knowing exactly what the end will be. So I had these nightmares that maybe, oh my God, if one of the paintings falls down or something happens in transport, then my whole film has a very strange ending, you know, that you cannot, in this way, when you work this way, you cannot have real big surprises. But very luckily, everything went right. And we had a beautiful moment of Gregor walking around in his expo.
What have the reactions been of the protagonists when they saw the film?
Well, I've shown them in different stages. Of course, Gregor was one of the first because he gave me so much trust in showing a bit of an insight in his soul. So I went to him and I showed him the film, and he was a bit shy about it, but also he really liked the way that I took his work serious, and of course the painting serious. And then he has this great lady friend, Suzanne, who's also in the film. And of course he was a bit from, oh, maybe this emotion, should it be in? And then she said something, oh, this is why I love you. And I think that is also what people have when they see the film. They really get really fond of him as it's someone who dares to show his emotions. And
his essays in the catalogue were the first I read because of your film.
Okay. Yeah, no, he's great. He's an amazing person.
And like, apart from like the exhibition, what is your like, what is your vision or your wish for the film? Like, should it go travel around the world, or is it like?
Yeah, well, the thing is that we managed to get the film ready 2 weeks after the opening, and it was maybe a bit cynical, but I think the Rijksmuseum also said yes to my plan because they thought, oh, maybe it will help selling tickets or anything. But when the film was ready and going into a premiere, all tickets were sold out. So and the film has been in almost 60 Dutch cinemas. So it's traveled around. It's been a huge success already. 27,000 people watched it in the cinema. And also people who said, I would have loved to have a ticket for the Vermeer show, but could not have it. But at least I have the film. And I think I also, I hope to have captured this unique Vermeer show. And in a way, you can get closer to the paintings in the film than actually in the Rijksmuseum.
Yeah. There's, I think, the great scene in the film where the curators and the team, they test out how they're going to put up the barriers, which I found really it was amazing to see. Okay, how far do we allow people to actually go to the painting?
Well, they did a very thorough job, also really researching how many people can you have at one time, how fast will and because there were some experiences in the past that it was too crowded. And now I hear from a lot of people, especially because they let in people every hour or something, that you really have the chance to look at the paintings. So I think they did a great job at that. But still, of course, it's busy. It's sold out.
Yeah. Suzanne, what's your next project? Are you working on something at the moment, or are you planning something?
Yes, I will start editing a film I've been working for the last 7 years. And the name of the film is Where Dragons Live, but it's not actually about dragons. It's about a big country house in England, full of mysteries and bones and Asian art, where the 4 siblings, it's a bit like Succession, but then about art history and about dragons, what to do with the legacy of your parents and how to deal with your childhood memories. So it's I go to the UK Monday to start this new edit.
Fantastic. Suzanne, thank you very much for the talk.
Thank you.
You can vote for the film because it's nominated for the Kino Audience Award. So if you like Close to Vermeer, then you can vote for it online. And good luck with your next project, Suzanne. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, and thank you for screening my film at your wonderful festival. I'm so sorry I could not come. Bye.
Next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.